What if the pain you fear most is the very key to the respect you desire most? What if the avoidance of hardship is the one thing keeping you weak and unseen? True strength isn't the absence of pain, but the mastery of it. And from that mastery, an unshakable respect is born. Endure pain, own respect, Stoic grit, deep control, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Conquering pain with purpose. Imagine a marathon runner at the 20-mile mark. Every muscle fiber in her body is screaming in protest. Her lungs burn, her legs feel like lead, and a primal voice in her head is begging her to stop, to collapse, to give in to the overwhelming pain. The pain is not a metaphor. It is a raw, all-consuming physical reality. Yet, she continues. She pushes through this wall of suffering, her eyes fixed on a point in her mind, the finish line. What allows her to endure a sensation that would make most people quit? It is not a lack of pain, but a surplus of purpose. The pain is immense, but her reason for enduring it is even greater. This is the scene of a fundamental inner conflict that defines the human condition. We are biologically wired to avoid pain, physical, emotional, and psychological. Pain is a signal of danger, a warning to retreat. The problem statement is this: our instinct to flee from all forms of pain at all costs keeps us trapped in a small, comfortable, but ultimately weak and unfulfilling existence. We see pain as a meaningless affliction, a cruel punishment to be avoided. This makes us fragile. When the inevitable pains of life arrive, the sting of failure, the ache of loss, the strain of difficult work, we feel like victims, overwhelmed by a suffering that seems to have no point. We haven't built the mental framework to process pain, so even minor hardships can break our spirit. The transformative solution is to learn to conquer pain by infusing it with purpose. You must become the marathon runner of your own life, capable of enduring hardship by connecting it to a worthy finish line. The core idea is that pain itself is a neutral sensation. It is our judgment about the pain, specifically our belief that it is pointless and purely negative, that creates true suffering. By consciously assigning a higher purpose to our pain, we transform it from a tormentor into a tool. The pain of the runner is no longer just pain. It is the price of victory, the feeling of her body forging the endurance necessary to achieve her goal. The purpose acts as a powerful psychological anesthetic and a profound motivator. This ancient wisdom is the key to unlocking true grit. The Stoics taught that we cannot control the events that happen to us, but we have absolute power over the meaning we assign to them. A difficult challenge can be seen as a curse or as a training ground for your virtue. The pain is the same, but the purpose changes everything. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, observed this in the most extreme conditions imaginable. The prisoners who survived were often not the physically strongest, but those who managed to hold on to a sense of purpose, a reason to endure their horrific suffering. They proved that when a why is strong enough, a person can bear almost any how. To begin the practice of conquering your pain with purpose, you must become a meaning maker in your own life. For the next week, your task is to actively reframe every instance of discomfort or pain you experience, no matter how small. This is your purpose reframing exercise. When you are at the gym and your muscles start to burn, don't just think, "This hurts, I want to stop." Consciously reframe it. This burning sensation is the feeling of my body growing stronger and more disciplined. When you are struggling with a difficult, frustrating task at work, don't let your mind default to, "I hate this, this is pointless." Actively reframe it. This struggle is forging my focus and my problem-solving skills. This is the price of professional mastery. You must be deliberate about this. You can even say the reframe out loud or write it down. If you are facing the emotional pain of a setback, reframe it. This pain of failure is a lesson that is making me wiser and more resilient for the future. You are not denying the reality of the pain. You are changing its context. You are taking the raw data of a negative sensation and wrapping it in the noble story of your highest goals. You are telling your brain that this pain is not a threat, but an investment in the person you are choosing to become. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to develop a completely new relationship with hardship. Fear of pain will loosen its grip on you because you will see it not as an enemy, but as a necessary and even valuable part of your journey. You will find yourself more willing to take on difficult challenges because you understand that the associated discomfort is the very mechanism of your growth. You are no longer the person who runs from pain. You are the person who knows how to use it as fuel. You are becoming the runner who can smile through the agony of the final mile because you know it is bringing you closer to a glorious finish line. Conquering pain with purpose is the gateway to a stronger self. But once you have found your why, you must build the how, the deep underlying strength to carry that purpose through any storm. In our next lesson, we will explore the path to unyielding strength. If you're ready to give your struggles a higher meaning, declare it in the comments below. My pain has a purpose. Your declaration of intent transforms the energy of this community. Please remember to subscribe to Stoic Power and like this video to support the journey. Lesson 2. The path to unyielding strength. Imagine a great oak tree standing alone in an open field. For 100 years, it has been assaulted by storms. The winds have torn at its branches, the ice has weighed them down, and lightning has scarred its trunk. A lesser tree would have been uprooted or shattered long ago. But the oak not only stands, it has grown stronger because of the storms. Its roots have pushed deeper into the earth to anchor against the wind. Its trunk has grown thicker and more resilient in response to the constant pressure. The very forces that sought to destroy it have been incorporated into its own strength. The storm is not just something the oak endures, it is a part of what makes the oak an oak. This is the image of unyielding strength, and it highlights a common inner conflict. We want to be strong and stable like the oak tree, yet we live our lives like a fragile sapling, praying that no strong winds will ever blow. The problem statement is this: we fundamentally misunderstand where strength comes from. We believe strength is a static quality, a fortunate gift that some people have and others don't. We think the goal is to protect our current level of strength from being diminished by life's storms. This defensive mindset makes us brittle. When the inevitable storms of life do hit, we are unprepared. We haven't trained for them, so we feel battered, weakened, and broken by the experience. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the oak tree. You must understand that true, unyielding strength is not a static state to be protected, but a dynamic process of adaptation and growth. The core idea is that you do not get strong by avoiding storms, but by weathering them. Every challenge you face, every adversity you overcome, is an opportunity for your roots of character to grow deeper and your trunk of resolve to grow thicker. Unyielding strength is not the absence of stress. It is the result of a long history of successfully adapting to stress. This Stoic principle turns the conventional wisdom about hardship on its head. The Stoics didn't see a difficult life as a curse. They saw it as the ideal training ground for a philosopher. They understood that a man who has only known comfort and ease has no real idea of his own strength. His foundations are shallow. It is only when the winds of fortune blow against you that you are forced to discover the deep well of resilience within. This is why they practiced voluntary hardship, to train their roots before the hurricane arrived. They were choosing to be the oak, not the sapling. To begin walking the path to unyielding strength, you must change your response to daily pressures. Your task this week is to practice rooting down. Every time you face a moment of stress, pressure, or difficulty, a tight deadline, a tense conversation, a moment of frustration, you will consciously use it as a training opportunity. Instead of tensing up and resisting the pressure, which is the sapling's response, you will perform a mental maneuver. You will pause, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, you will imagine yourself sending roots down from your feet deep into the earth. This is a powerful visualization exercise. Feel yourself connecting to a source of deep, unshakable stability. As you feel the pressure from the external event, you will silently affirm to yourself, "This pressure is forcing my roots to grow deeper. This is making me stronger." You are not just enduring the stress, you are actively reframing it as a strengthening exercise. If you are dealing with a difficult person, see them as a strong wind that is forcing you to anchor yourself more firmly in your own patience and reason. If you are tackling a complex problem, see it as a weight that is building the muscle of your intellect and perseverance. You are transforming every source of stress in your life from a threat into a training partner. The benefit of this daily practice is that you will begin to feel a new sense of stability and calm. Even when the world around you is turbulent, your anxiety about future challenges will decrease because you will start to trust in your ability to adapt and grow stronger from them. You will stop wasting energy wishing for a life without storms and instead invest that energy in building a character that is storm-proof. You are no longer the fragile sapling hoping for calm weather. You are becoming the mighty oak, drawing unyielding strength from the very winds that seek to tear you down. Unyielding strength is built by weathering storms. But to truly benefit from the storm, we need a quality even deeper than strength: grit. In our next lesson, we will explore how to harness true grit through adversity, transforming obstacles into fuel. If you are ready to grow your roots, declare it in the comments. I am the oak. Your declaration of strength anchors our entire community. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power and continue to build your unyielding foundation. Lesson 3: Harnessing Grit Through Adversity. Imagine a raw, unremarkable piece of carbon, buried deep within the earth. It is subjected to a pressure so immense it is almost incomprehensible, and a heat so intense it can melt rock. For thousands of years, it endures this crushing, searing environment. Most materials would be obliterated, ground to dust. But this piece of carbon undergoes a profound transformation. The intense adversity does not destroy it. It reorganizes its very molecular structure, forging it into something new. It becomes a diamond, the hardest natural substance known, a symbol of unbreakable beauty and value. The diamond's brilliance is not a product of a gentle environment, but a direct result of the most extreme adversity imaginable. This provides a stark metaphor for the inner conflict we have with true adversity. We all want the qualities of the diamond: indomitable spirit, unbreakable character, a sense of inner value that cannot be diminished. We want grit. The problem statement is this: we want the diamond, but we curse the pressure. When life subjects us to intense adversity, a major failure, a deep personal loss, a period of prolonged struggle, our instinct is to see it as a destructive, unjust force. We feel crushed by the weight, burned by the heat, and we believe that this experience will leave us scarred and diminished. We do not understand that this very process is the only thing that can transform the common carbon of our character into the diamond of true grit. The transformative solution is to learn to harness grit through adversity. This means embracing the alchemical mindset of the diamond. You must begin to see periods of intense difficulty not as something that is happening to you, but as something that is happening for you. The core idea is that grit is not just about endurance, it is about transformation. It is the ability to not only survive immense pressure, but to use that pressure to become something more than you were before. The adversity is the forge, and grit is the quality of the steel that emerges from it. A man with grit does not pray for a life without pressure. He prays for the strength to withstand the pressure and be transformed by it. This Stoic principle is the ultimate reframe of suffering. The Stoics believed that the universe, in its wisdom, sends us challenges perfectly suited to our growth. An obstacle is not a roadblock. It is a divinely appointed sparring partner designed to bring out our best. When you truly internalize this, your relationship with adversity changes completely. It ceases to be a source of fear and becomes a source of profound, if difficult, opportunity. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me? Who is this trying to make me?" To begin the practice of harnessing grit, you must become a student of your own struggles. Your task this week is to perform a diamond polish on a past or present adversity. Choose a significant challenge you have faced. Instead of focusing on the pain and the unfairness of it, you will analyze it like a gemologist studying a rough stone. You will take out a journal and answer 3 questions. First, What specific strengths did this adversity force me to develop? Maybe a financial struggle forced you to become more resourceful and disciplined. Maybe a betrayal forced you to develop better judgment and stronger boundaries. Second, what weaknesses did this adversity reveal in me? This requires brutal honesty. Perhaps the pressure revealed a tendency to blame others or a lack of patience. Seeing this weakness is not a cause for shame. It is a crucial part of the process. It shows you the impurities that the pressure is squeezing out of your character. Third, and most importantly, how am I a better, stronger, more valuable person today because I went through that pressure? You must articulate the net gain. You are not just the survivor of the pressure, you are the product of it. By deliberately reflecting on adversity in this way, you are consciously participating in your own transformation. You are polishing the diamond. The benefit of this practice is that it retroactively gives meaning to your past suffering, turning old wounds into sources of wisdom and strength. And it fundamentally changes how you approach future adversity. You will begin to face challenges with a new sense of grim optimism, a quiet confidence in the transformative process. You will know that while the pressure may be immense, the potential for growth is even greater. You are learning to welcome the crucible, knowing it is the only place where true, unbreakable grit is forged. Harnessing grit allows you to be transformed by adversity. But to navigate these pressures with skill, you need more than just toughness. You need unbreakable control over your own mind. In our next lesson, we will focus on fostering that control. If you are ready to find the diamond within your struggles, declare it in the comments. The pressure makes the diamond. Your embrace of this hard truth gives strength to us all. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power and continue your transformation. Lesson 4. Fostering unbreakable control. Imagine the captain of a great ship caught in the eye of a hurricane. All around him is a maelstrom of unimaginable chaos. The winds are strong enough to tear steel, and the waves are the size of buildings. Lesser men would be paralyzed by fear, their minds consumed by the terrifying spectacle. But the master captain remains a pillar of calm at the ship's helm. His mind is not on the storm. The storm is simply a condition, a fact. His entire focused consciousness is on two things only: his compass and his rudder. He knows he cannot control the hurricane, but he has absolute, unbreakable control over his ship's direction and response. His control is not over the external world, but over his own small, vital domain. And in that small domain of control lies the power to survive the unsurvivable. This is the state of mind we must cultivate in the face of life's chaos, and it highlights a critical inner conflict. We are surrounded by our own hurricanes: financial uncertainty, political turmoil, the unpredictable actions of others. The problem statement is this: we allow the external chaos to create internal chaos. We let the howling winds of the news cycle and the crashing waves of social media dictate our emotional state. We focus so much on the storm that we forget we are at the helm of our own ship. We feel out of control because we have fixed our attention on the one thing we cannot control, the storm, and have neglected the one thing we can, our response. The transformative solution is to foster unbreakable control by relentlessly focusing on your own compass and rudder. The core idea is a radical narrowing of your focus. It is the Stoic discipline of withdrawing your attention from the vast, uncontrollable chaos of the world and concentrating it with laser-like intensity on your own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Unbreakable control is not about being strong enough to calm the storm. It is about being disciplined enough to ignore the storm and focus on steering your ship 1 degree at a time. This is the essence of the Stoic concept of the inner citadel. The Stoics trained themselves to build a mental fortress from which they could observe the chaos of the world without being drawn into it. Inside this citadel, reason, virtue, and choice reigned supreme. Everything else was outside the walls, and therefore not worthy of disturbing their inner peace. Fostering unbreakable control is the process of building, manning, and living inside this inner fortress. It is the ultimate source of stability in a volatile world. To begin fostering this control, you must practice the discipline of controlling your gaze. For the next week, your task is to consciously and deliberately manage your information diet and your focus. This is a two-part exercise. Part 1 is strategic ignorance. You will choose to deliberately ignore sources of information that are designed to create external chaos in your mind. This might mean deleting a news app from your phone, unfollowing outrage-driven accounts on social media, or choosing not to engage in pointless political arguments. You are the captain, choosing not to stare at the biggest, scariest waves because it serves no strategic purpose. Part 2 is intense focus. You will choose one important area of your life that is fully within your control: your work, your fitness, a personal project, and you will redirect all the mental energy you saved from Part 1 into this area. When you feel the pull to check the chaotic news, you will instead open a book and study your craft. When you feel the urge to engage in a pointless online argument, you will instead go to the gym and focus on your form. You are taking your gaze away from the storm and placing it firmly on your compass and your rudder. The profound benefit of this practice is that your sense of agency and peace will skyrocket. The world will not have gotten any less chaotic, but you will be infinitely calmer because you are no longer letting the chaos take up residence in your head. You will make more progress on your actual goals than ever before because you have a surplus of focused energy to devote to them. You are building your inner citadel, and you will find that it is a place of profound quiet, clarity, and unbreakable power. You are the captain who can sail through any hurricane because your gaze is fixed on what truly matters. Fostering unbreakable control gives you the power to steer. But even the best captain will face the inevitable pain of the storm's fury. In our next lesson, we will learn how to build resilience specifically in the face of pain. If you are ready to take control of your gaze, declare it in the comments. My focus is on the rudder. Your commitment to this discipline helps the entire fleet find its bearing. Please subscribe to Stoic Power to continue building your inner citadel. Lesson 5. Building resilience in the face of pain. Imagine again the master blacksmith in his forge. He pulls a piece of glowing hot steel from the fire. The steel is soft, malleable, and in a state of intense stress. This is the moment of pain. Now the blacksmith has a choice. He could douse the steel in water immediately, a process called quenching. This would make the steel incredibly hard, but also incredibly brittle. A single sharp blow would shatter it. The wise blacksmith does not do this. Instead, he begins a process called tempering. After the initial quench, he gently and precisely reheats the steel to a lower temperature. This process relieves the internal stresses, transforming the brittle hardness into a tough, resilient strength. The tempered blade can absorb the shock of impact, bend without breaking, and still hold a razor-sharp edge. This is a perfect metaphor for how we should build resilience in the face of pain. The inner conflict we face is that when we experience pain, be it the sharp pain of an injury, the emotional pain of a rejection, or the psychological pain of a deep disappointment, our response is often like the immediate, untempered quench. We either become hard and brittle, building a cynical defensive wall around ourselves to avoid being hurt again, or we shatter completely, collapsing into a state of victimhood and despair. The problem statement is that we lack the crucial process of tempering. We don't know how to work with our pain to build true resilience, so we are left either too hard to be effective or too soft to be durable. The transformative solution is to become the wise blacksmith of your own soul. You must learn the art of tempering your character in the aftermath of pain. The core idea is that resilience is not the same as hardness. Resilience is a sophisticated combination of strength and flexibility. It is the quality that allows you to be strong enough to withstand pain, but also supple enough to learn from it, adapt to it, and integrate the experience into a more formidable version of yourself. Building resilience is the process of consciously reheating your painful experiences with reflection and reason, turning the brittle lessons of never again into the resilient strength of next time I will be wiser. This is a deeply Stoic practice. The Stoics did not advocate for a brute, unfeeling hardness. They sought a resilient, rational strength. They understood that pain is an inevitable part of life, and that the wise person does not try to build a fortress so thick that no pain can ever get in. Instead, they build a character so well-tempered that when pain inevitably arrives, it can be absorbed, processed, and used to make the entire structure stronger. You are not trying to become immune to pain, but to become masterful at metabolizing it. To begin the practice of tempering, you must implement a pain processing protocol. The next time you experience a significant emotional or psychological pain, you will resist the urge to either ignore it, brittle hardness, or wallow in it, shattering. Instead, once the initial acute phase has passed, you will take yourself to your forge by opening a journal. You will then heat the experience with 3 tempering questions. First, what is the objective, factual story of what happened, stripped of all my emotional drama? This is the act of observing the blade without the distorting lens of your pain. I was not promoted, instead of, my life is over because my boss hates me. Second, what specific practical lesson can I extract from this pain? You are looking for the wisdom, not the wound. The lesson is that I need to develop my skills in X, or communicate my achievements more effectively. Third, and this is the most crucial tempering step, how can I voluntarily practice this lesson in a small, controlled way? This is the gentle reheating. If the lesson was that you need to be better at handling criticism, your practice might be to ask a trusted friend for honest feedback on a project, and to practice receiving it without defensiveness. You are taking the painful lesson and turning it into a controlled training exercise. The benefit of this protocol is that it fundamentally changes your relationship with pain. You are no longer its victim. You become its student and its craftsman. You are systematically transforming the painful events of your life into the very material of your own resilience. You will find that you recover from setbacks more quickly, that old wounds lose their power to trigger you, and that you approach the future with a quiet confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes. You are no longer the brittle, quenched steel. You are the masterfully tempered blade, strong, flexible, and ready for anything. Resilience in the face of pain is a deeply personal strength. But the ultimate expression of this strength is how it manifests in our interactions with others, earning us a form of respect that cannot be demanded, only commanded. In our next lesson, we will explore how to earn this deep respect through Stoic wisdom. If you are ready to temper your own soul, declare it in the comments. I will use the fire. Your commitment to this process strengthens us all. Please subscribe to Stoic Power and continue your training in the Forge of Life. Lesson 6. Earning respect through Stoic wisdom. Imagine a remote monastery, high in the mountains, where a legendary master of a martial art resides. Disciples travel for years to seek his wisdom. When they arrive, they do not find a loud, boastful warrior, but a quiet old man tending his garden. He rarely speaks of his skill. He does not wear a belt, signifying his rank. He treats everyone, from the youngest novice to the visiting dignitary, with the same simple, humble dignity. Yet his presence commands an almost supernatural level of respect. Why? Because his mastery is not in what he says, but in what he is. His every movement is precise and mindful. His composure is unshakable. His eyes hold a deep, quiet wisdom. The respect he has earned is not for his reputation, but for his embodiment of his principles. This brings us to a critical inner conflict in our desire for respect. We live in a world that often confuses attention with respect. We think that to be respected, we must be impressive. We need to have the important job title, the expensive watch, the witty comebacks, the large social media following. The problem statement is this: this pursuit of the external trappings of respect is a hollow and exhausting game. The respect it generates is fickle and shallow, dependent on your continued performance and the shifting opinions of others. It is the respect given to a flashy costume, not to the person wearing it. When the performance falters or the costume is removed, this form of respect vanishes, leaving a man feeling empty and unseen. The transformative solution is to stop chasing the shadow of respect and start cultivating the substance of it through Stoic wisdom. The core idea is that true, lasting respect is never given for what you have, but for who you are. It is the natural byproduct of a well-ordered character. It is the honor that is automatically granted to a person who demonstrates unwavering integrity, self-control, courage, and wisdom. You do not earn this respect by demanding it or by showing off. You command it, quietly, by living your principles so consistently that your character speaks for itself more loudly than any words ever could. This is the path of the Stoic sage. The respect that figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus command, even thousands of years later, has nothing to do with their status. It has everything to do with the profound integrity of their inner lives, which they revealed through their actions and their writings. They understood that the good opinion of others is an external, something outside of their control. The only thing within their control was their own character. They focused relentlessly on perfecting that, and the respect of all future generations followed as a natural consequence. To begin walking the path of earning true respect, you must shift your focus from impression management to character cultivation. For the next week, your task is to practice the rule of action. You will choose one of the Stoic virtues we have discussed: discipline, courage, justice, or wisdom, as your focus for the week. Let's say you choose integrity. For 7 days, you will make it your single-minded mission to embody that virtue in your actions, especially in the small moments when no one is watching. Before every decision, you will ask yourself, what is the most integral action I can take right now? When you are writing an email, you will focus on making it honest and clear. When you make a promise, you will follow through on it without fail. When you make a mistake, you will own it immediately and without excuse. Your goal is not to impress anyone. In fact, you should tell no one that you are doing this. This is a private contract between you and your highest self. You are not putting on a performance for an audience. You are engaging in the quiet, diligent work of the master in his garden. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to build a deep and unshakable form of self-respect. This is the only respect that truly matters, and it is the foundation from which all external respect grows. When you respect yourself, when you know that you are living in alignment with your own highest principles, you will begin to project a quiet confidence and a solidness of character that is palpable. People will feel it. They may not know why, but they will sense that you are a person of substance, a person to be trusted. You are no longer the actor seeking applause. You are becoming the quiet master, whose simple, dignified presence commands a respect that is deep, genuine, and enduring. Earning respect through wisdom is the outward expression of a disciplined inner life. To make this our permanent state, we must integrate all these lessons into a daily, unwavering practice. In our final lesson, we will learn how to live with unwavering Stoic grit. If you are ready to earn the respect that matters, declare it in the comments. My character is my creed. Your commitment to integrity elevates our entire community. Please subscribe to Stoic Power for the final step on this path. Lesson 7. Living with unwavering Stoic grit. Imagine a lighthouse built on a jagged outcrop of rock at the edge of the sea. It is not the largest or most ornate structure, but it is built to last. For generations, it has endured the relentless assault of the ocean. It has been battered by hurricane-force winds, pounded by colossal waves, and shrouded in corrosive salt spray. Yet it stands. Its purpose is singular and unwavering: to shine its light steadily and without fail, providing a fixed point of navigation for all ships lost in the storm. The lighthouse does not have good days and bad days. It does not shine brighter when the sea is calm and dimmer when the storm rages. Its grit is in its constancy. Its power is in its unwavering daily execution of its core purpose. This is the final ideal, the embodiment of a life lived with unwavering Stoic grit, and it highlights our last inner conflict. We have learned the principles, we have practiced the exercises, and we have tasted the benefits of a Stoic mindset. The final challenge is making it last. The problem statement is this: we often treat self-improvement as a temporary project rather than a permanent way of life. We are disciplined for a while, but then fall back into old habits. We are resilient in a crisis, but become soft when life is easy. Our practice is inconsistent, and therefore, our strength is unreliable. We are the lighthouse whose light flickers, sometimes shining brightly, other times disappearing into the darkness, making us an untrustworthy guide even for ourselves. The transformative solution is to embrace Stoicism not as a set of ideas, but as a lifelong operating system. You must commit to living with unwavering Stoic grit, which is defined by the daily, consistent practice of your principles, regardless of external conditions or internal moods. The core idea is that grit is not a feeling, it is a commitment. It is the decision to be the lighthouse, to show up and shine your light every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. It is the integration of all the lessons we have learned into a seamless, daily way of being. This is the ultimate aim of the Stoic path, to create a character so solid, so consistent, so anchored in principle that your virtue becomes as reliable as the rising of the sun. This is what it means to be a philosopher in the truest sense, not a talker of wisdom, but a liver of it. This unwavering grit is the source of deep control and the foundation of a life of profound meaning and tranquility. Your inner peace ceases to be a fleeting state and becomes a permanent feature of your character. To begin the practice of living with unwavering grit, you must commit to a daily Stoic review. This is a simple 5-minute journaling exercise to be done each evening, a practice recommended by Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus. Before you go to sleep, you will open your journal and answer 3 questions that act as a review of your day as the lighthouse keeper. Question 1. What did I do well today according to my principles? Acknowledge your successes. Did you practice patience? Did you act with courage? Did you control a reaction? This reinforces what works. Question 2. What did I do poorly and what can I learn from it? This is not about self-flagellation. It is a calm, objective analysis. Where did your light flicker? Did you lose your temper? Did you give in to a distraction? What was the root cause? What will you do differently tomorrow? This turns your failures into invaluable lessons. Question 3. What am I grateful for? This grounds you in a sense of perspective and prevents your self-review from becoming overly critical. It reminds you to appreciate the light, even as you work to make it steadier. This daily review is the master routine that locks in all your other training. It is the daily maintenance check performed by the lighthouse keeper. It ensures that small problems are caught before they become big ones. It keeps your principles at the forefront of your mind. It makes your personal growth a conscious, deliberate, and unending process. The profound benefit of this lifelong commitment is that you will build a character of true substance. You will become a source of light and stability, not only for yourself, but for everyone in your life. You will no longer be a ship tossed in the storm, but the unwavering lighthouse that guides others safely to shore. You will have achieved the ultimate victory, the serene, unshakable dominion over your own soul. From conquering pain with purpose to living with unwavering grit, you now possess the blueprint for a Stoic life. You understand that strength comes from adversity, control comes from within, and respect is earned through character. This is the path to enduring pain and owning a respect that endures. Thank you for your dedication to this challenging but rewarding path. Your commitment to building your inner strength is a quiet act of leadership that inspires us all. If this journey has fortified you, please like the video, share your commitment in the comments, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for your daily dose of wisdom.